Hey traders, Jason here from Lever Brothers. Hope you're well. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about some recent trades we've had. My purpose for this is just to kind of show you what's been going on. The market has been really good and really healthy for the last 2 months. We've had a lot of great trades. So while you're watching this, ask yourself, how much money would I have made if I had access to these trade setups? How much money would I have made if I had somebody like Levitt Brothers whispering in your ear that the market was healthy, it was gaining strength, lots of good trades, and you should definitely be long rather than listening to the negative, pessimistic people on social media? Because the reality is the market's been in really good shape, and there have been dozens and dozens and dozens of really good, solid technical trades to be had. Okay, so I'm going to go through them today and think about it. Think about how you would have done if you would have had access to these trades over the last couple months. All right, so first up is Airbnb. Stock broke out over here. We had it as a breakout at 100 with a target of 110, and then our second target, we had another target at 120, and we currently have a third target at 130. This is a live trade of ours. Next up, ACCD, okay, acting really well, came out of a base here, moved up, came down, tested the 21, moved up again, tested the 21, tested the 21, broke out of a little bit of range here. I love patterns that set up like this where you get support from a moving average, and then the highs within the range form a resistance, and then you get a breakout and a move from there. Our target on this one was 12. It was hit earlier this week. Affirm, maybe zoom out of here a little bit. So this one has formed a nice base going all the way back to May. You can see longer term resistance is there, but there were entries within the pattern. You can see breakout there, goes up and tests the previous high. Boom, boom. Comes down here, tests the 50-day moving average, moves up back to the high, and then breaks out. This is a live trade that we're currently still in. AG, some of the gold and silver stocks have started doing better. This 750 level was key. It moved up, came down, tested the 21 here, here, and here, and then moved up again. Our target on this was 8.5, so it hit our target this week. AMC, as you can see here, formed a decent base. You can see there, it broke out. Timing wasn't right, so it came back down, got some support from the 50, and then has done extremely well the last 2 weeks. Cars has done really well for us. It formed this bottoming pattern here, like a bottoming symmetrical triangle pattern. Price gets squeezed by converging trend lines. It builds energy into the position. Stock breaks out. Volume is steady but not really strong. Comes down, tests the 21, and then moves up from there. Our first target was 12. Our second target is 13.5. So this is currently still a live trade of ours. Sienna, we had this as, we identified this level here at 48 as being key because we had support here, resistance, resistance. So the stock broke out, went up to 50, came down, tested that 48 level, which was also the 50 and 21-day moving average, and then moved up from there. It hit our target earlier this week. CPNG, just acting really well. Let me draw. You can see right here, it's got a nice bottoming pattern, broke out, big volume here, comes down, tests the 21, moves up, comes down, tests the 21, and moves up again. So this one is acting really well. It's still a live trade of ours. Carvana, nice bottoming pattern on a percentage basis. It's done incredibly well lately. So you can see it broke out here, moved up. I don't remember our targets on this one, but I think our first one was probably 35. Our second one was probably 50. But it's a good example of a stock that's formed a really nice bottoming pattern. When the market was dropping to a lower low over here, this stock was holding its low. Okay, and that's a great sign. It's a great sign relative strength, and then it's not a surprise that the stock has turned around and almost tripled since mid-July. Disney, Okay, bottoming pattern, resistance from the 21, resistance from the 21, finally gets above that moving average, comes down and tests it, and then moves up again. We had this one as a breakout. It's done really well. You can see it has ridden its 8 moving average up, and then today it had earnings. So anyone who held into earnings was rewarded. Anyone who got out yesterday because they didn't want to hold into earnings, they still made a nice profit. EXPI. Decent base here. As you can see, we had this one just as a shorter term breakout right over here. I like patterns that have a solid base going back several months. They break out, volume is good, but it takes so much energy to break out. They immediately trade into some sort of little flag pattern, and then you could play the breakout from the flag pattern. And that's what happened here at Lever Brothers, and you can see the stock's done well. FREY. See, nothing special here, just a bottoming pattern going back a couple months, breaks out. Volume over here is really steady, really strong at times. It easily hit our target. Steel stocks are currently doing well. We profiled several of them last week. GGB broke out a couple weeks ago, pushed a little up, came back down, traded in a little falling wedge pattern, and then has pushed up since then. So this is a live trade of ours, what we're still in. HOUS has done very, very well. Okay, we posted this one last week. Nothing special here. Again, well, it is special. It's a great basing pattern. It's acting really well. You got volume over here that supports it. Then you got some lighter volume within the pattern as traders kind of get lulled to sleep, and then you get a nice breakout on big volume over here, and the stock has done really well. Our first, the depth of the pattern measures up to our target, which is similar to previous high. So this stock has hit our target today. HUT, Bitcoin stocks have come alive. Okay, HUT broke out right here at 175. You can see resistance, 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 breaks out. Volume is really big over here, comes down, tests that former breakout level and the 21-day moving average, and then it moves up from there, and then it forms this like little, not little actually, that's pretty big, and then it moved out of there, and then today with the big gap up, it has easily hit our target. ION Q, another one of those basing patterns. Whoops, that's not what I want. This formed a nice base. See, it broke out, then it hesitated a little bit, then it moved out from there. Was a nice, on a percentage basis, that was a nice gain for us. JB Hunt, a lot of trucking stocks doing much better. Stock trading a little base, okay, then a little falling pattern here, which it breaks out of. Then our trade was up here. Okay, we didn't play the base, we didn't play this over here, but when the stock went up over here on increasing volume, we have this range here between the high 160s and 175. Profiled it there. There was another trade in here. The stock has hit our target. Mars, another big Bitcoin stock that has treated us well. Okay, a little bottoming pattern here with volume, another rounded bottom pattern here with volume. Stock then moved up, formed resistance over here. We got support at the 21, ascending triangle, support from the moving averages. There were chances to buy the dip within this range, and today the stock stock broke out on Monday, came back down Tuesday, but then has done really well the last 2 days. It's been a decent winner. It's probably going to go higher. NEO, another solid base. Stock broke out. It didn't go anywhere, just kind of trading a little range there. Then finally this week it took off. It hit our target this week. Riot's treated us really well. So this is how we played Riot. We identified, so this level, the 6th level being really important. We got support there, support there, support there, resistance there. So stock breaks out at 6, goes up to 8, comes back down and tests 6, which was also the 21-day moving average, 50-day moving average, and that previous resistance level. Then it moves up. Then I had 8 as a key level because we have resistance there, resistance there, resistance there. So then then it broke out at 8, and it is today it touched up near 10. So this one is doing really well, and it's probably going to continue as long as Bitcoin continues to do well. All right, gains are not just in tech. Here is Raw Stores, a retail operation. That's not the best trend line. But as you can see, resistance from the 21, resistance from the 21, resistance from the 21. So it gets above the 21, comes back down and tests the 21 over here, moves up, forms a resistance level, and then breaks out. This is a live trade of ours. SID is another steel stock that's doing really well. I shouldn't say it's doing really well, but it seems to be in the beginning stages. We have a bottoming pattern here. As you can see, volume over here is not incredibly strong, but it is steady. It moved out of this range, coming up against a previous high here, so maybe a place that it will back off, but this is starting to look better. Certainly it could be bought on a dip as the 21 starts to continues to support it over there. STLD is another steel stock acting well. We got a base and then a base at a higher level. So that's treating us well. It's one of our stocks on our list. In fact, every single one of these trades that I'm showing you is a stock on our list. I'm not going through the universe of stocks and just cherry picking the best ones. Every single one of these stocks are on our trading list. So UEC broke out at 375. And it pushed on a percentage basis. It pushed up really nicely. It just hasn't gone up since then. So it's still a live trade, still doing okay, but it's testing our patience because it's not moving up very fast. UPS doing moderately well. So I did try to draw a trend line like this. We got a nice bottoming pattern that goes back several months, moves up, consolidates right here for 4, 5, 6 days, and then moves out of that range. UEC, I got two more to show you here. UEC, base like this. We stayed out of it until earnings came out. Then the stock traded into this little ascending triangle pattern, broke out, but hasn't gone anywhere. So it's a live trade. Maybe it'll work out really well. Maybe it won't. But for now, it's a live trade, and so far, so good. Last stock, X steel stock, another steel stock that's acting well. Got this bottoming pattern here. You can see resistance up there at 21. Nice, here, and then you got the rounded bottom, and then here, so there's a little bit of symmetry, breaks out, goes up, pauses for 6, 7 days, and then moves out from there. Okay, so and this is just a snapshot. These are some of our trades. That's certainly not all of them. These are actually just trades from like the last couple weeks. The market is in very good shape. I've seen lots of great improvement. Don't listen to the negative stuff you hear on Twitter. Because the market actually is acting very well. Now, are we going to just go up to the highs? Probably not going to happen anytime soon, but the market's healthy enough and strong enough that it will be able to absorb both some bad news and some technical damage. Okay, it has enough goodwill built into it right now that it could absorb some bad stuff. Okay, ask yourself, how well would you have done if you had access to these trades? How well would you have done if you had access to Levitt Brothers, which was telling you over and over and over the last 2 months that the market is either getting healthier or was healthy and you should be long, and not listening to all the naysayers on Twitter? Think about it. If you're not doing well, change something about what you're doing so you can get the results you want. All right, we'll see you next time.